Mirza has him cutting. Beautiful ball, slipped it through that back line. Mirza scores!
We're going to see the onslaught by the Bears. They're going to push everybody forward. Garrett into the middle, saved by Walensky.
There was no flop.
Oh, box, and it's headed in by Diaz. Bulldogs take the lead.
To the area from here, runs up, takes the swing at it. It's right at the penalty position. Teixeira's there for a goal. Welcome everybody to Manchester Memorial High School here in Manchester, New Hampshire. We are getting set for the Division I Boys Championship game here. I'm Corey Munster-Tiger, joined in the booth by Bill Klein. We're excited about today's this afternoon's action. Should be a phenomenal game against two undefeated teams here. The Bulldogs coming in at 14-0-2 from Bedford, and then the Exeter Blue Hawks coming in at 13-0-3. Phenomenal records. These two teams, Bill, seem to have been on a collision course since day one. What do you expect this afternoon?
I'll tell you, talked to both coaches before the game, and they're looking at this like this could be one of the best soccer matches in the history of boys soccer here in New Hampshire. They didn't play in the regular season, and that's why neither of them probably have a loss. Could have been a tie, but they're coming in as a 1 and a number 2 seed. Exeter having beaten Keene, which broke the perfect bracket. Bedford 1-0 over Hanover. Exeter 3-2 over Keene earlier this week. Both coaches talked about the fact that the players on both teams, a lot of them know each other. Some of them play with each other on the same teams. And they are all expecting a great match. And we've got 3 officials today. I spoke with them as well. 2 of the 3 I've known, and they are outstanding officials. I think this is going to be a beautiful thing.
Viewers right now are seeing the bracket there. Again, the Bedford Bulldogs beat Pinkerton, that 1-8 matchup, to advance to the semifinal round. They were able to get past Hanover 1-0 in those semifinals to reach the finals here today. Exeter, as you see, number 2 seed coming in, quite obviously, with that 13-0-3 record. They were able to get past Timberlane early on and then beat Portsmouth in that quarterfinal round. Quarterfinal round. And then semifinals, they were able to overcome Keene 4-3 to reach today's final.
One of the unique things about the semifinal that Bedford played was that last roughly 20 minutes of the game, it was 10 versus 11. Corey, I know you were not here to join us, unfortunately. However, I'll tell you, it was amazing to see that game, which was just that one goal, like you just said, Corey, but could have been either direction the other way in the beginning. But basically, Bedford dominated most of that. This is not, I don't think you're going to see one team dominate this. We're going to see a lot of skilled play all over the field, defensive and attacking, and the goalkeepers are both very strong at each end.
Did hear a little bit more about that game. And I understood there were 2 crossbar hits from the Bulldogs very early in that game. Plus,
it was like 4 seconds apart.
and they basically had the field tilted in their offensive direction the entire game. Yet still only squeaked out with a 1-goal victory. So that's what playoff soccer is. That fluke goal here and there can obviously turn the tides. Tonight we have some wind, we have some sun, some challenges for the goalie. That's going to be down to our right-hand side as they look back into the sun. So it is a beautiful day, but somewhat chilly. Bright blue sky for now, and that sun is going to set over to our left. So we may have some challenges with getting the numbers right as we're kind of looking into the sun and looking down onto the field, just trying to narrate the action. So please bear with us as we get through some of these challenges until the sun sets.
Especially the sun, not just for us, but for the goalkeeper to our right. Whoever's defending, going from right to left, that's going to be tough. Definitely in the first half. I don't know how quickly that ball in the sky is going to settle down. But hey, quick note on the history here. Exeter has had 9 appearances in the finals. And that goes back during most of the time Jimmy Tufts, who coached the current staff of the Exeter team. They both played for him at Exeter. 9 appearances, 5 wins. Bedford, 5 appearances, 3 wins, and those were all, I believe, under Stu Pepper.
Not too shabby of a record there in the finals, 60%. I'd say that's pretty strong.
Very strong. And by the way, you know, we've talked a couple times about size of school differences when we played Hanover. Hanover's one of BG and Hanover are much smaller. They petitioned to move up from a lower division to play up. And their schools are, I think it's more than half of the population or student body that Bedford has. Pinkerton, very large. Exeter and us are almost the same size.
Size can make a difference here, and obviously these two strong teams have benefited from solid selection throughout their student body. We'll go through the starting lineups here as they're being announced here in the stadium. For the Bulldogs, we'll have Derek Walensky in goal. The senior goalkeeper will get the nod today, as he has over the last few playoff games. Colin Johnson, Eli Kaplow, Evan Hoey, Tavis Wallace, Caden Santerre, Ali Mirza, Gabe Teixeira, Jake Bilecki, Ethan Benjamin, and Logan Tennant will round out the Bulldogs starting lineup for Coach Pepper. For the Blue Hawks, Coach Kern will have Alex Foa in the cage, Cam Lacouture, Aiden Powers, Cooper Vitti, Sean Howe, Alan Barreto, Jude Keener, Will Mannix, Jack Blythe, Finn Topitzer, and Marshall Lazowitz will be taking the pitch for Coach Kern.
It's been 8 years since Exeter was in the finals. That was 2016, and they prevailed with a 5-0 score against Manchester Memorial. That's also significant because that's where we're playing here at Manchester Memorial's Field, and they haven't been in the playoffs since then either. Bedford, on the other hand, gave us one of the most outstanding finals last year, beating Hanover 4-0 to win the 2023 crown. And that was one heck of a game in spite of the score. It was closer than that.
It was 0-0, I think, until, what, like right after the second half started? So
I'm pretty sure you're right. We were here.
Yeah.
Not here. We were actually down in Stellas, which is they're tearing that field up, repairing it right now.
Absolutely. And unfortunately, you know, the Bulldogs didn't really have high expectations at the start of last season. It kind of snuck up on some people as those playoffs developed, and they got to the championship and then eventually won as they were the 6th seed. I thank you for sharing that with me right now.
Yeah, Corey, I was just looking at that. 6th seed, Exeter was 12 last year. They got knocked out early. Bedford obviously went from 6, beat the top 2 teams, 1 and 2.
We'll take a quick timeout for the national anthem and join you for some boys soccer action in just a moment. Welcome back, everybody. Again, we're just about ready for kickoff here for this boys Division I soccer championship game here from Manchester Memorial, the home of the Crusaders. Very gracious of them to host today's final, where the Bedford Bulldogs, the #1 seed, will be playing against the Exeter Bluehawks, the #2 seed. Again, I'm Corey Munster-Tiger here, joined by Bill Klein. Bill, any other thoughts here as we get ready for kickoff?
I have one wish, and that's the game is won in regulation time. Overtime wouldn't be bad, but I don't want to see this end in penalty kicks. You know, that's what we saw the Bedford girls go out of the tournament with. That's a hard way to end the season, and that was one of two of the girls' games in the quarterfinals, that ended up being only one of the top 4 seeds went on. Tonight, Exeter, or this afternoon, excuse me, Exeter, BG, what am I doing? I'm exhausted. Bedford. I just want a good, clean game, and I imagine this probably will be a game to remember, I hope, from start to finish, Corey.
I certainly imagine. Again, two very experienced teams here. The Bulldogs have a roster of 12 seniors, 7 juniors, 5 sophomores, and just 1 freshman. On the Bluehawks side, they have 13 seniors. Again, very experienced squad, 7 juniors and 3 sophomores. We are getting, and there it is, we are underway. The Bulldogs kick it off. Send it deep by Eli Kaplow from that back line, center back position. Bilecki down this left wing to Teixeira. We do have a radio broadcast and a TV broadcast, so apologies for our video viewers here. I'm going to be a little bit more chatty as we try to fill in for our radio fans. Near side out of bounds, so the Bluehawks will have a throw in.
Exeter has a prolific scorer, one of the top scorers in the state. That would be Max. Corey, do you have Max's number there on your roster?
Was that Will Mannix, number 17?
Will Mannix. I'm sorry, Mannix. Yes, Will Mannix, number 17.
Phenomenal player, and again, likely one of those players that these guys are seeing throughout the club ranks and playing with in the non-fall seasons. Winter, spring, and then, of course, summer ball as they go to these tournaments. Team players going to be feeling each other out. A foul there on that far side. Nice sportsmanship by the Bluehawks.
Speaking of feeling them out, that's exactly what you saw.
Absolutely.
First bit of contact there. And official with the 3-man system. The official's right there on top of the play. Good signaling. Good loud whistle I could hear from up here.
Cooper Vitti with the foul, and now Kaplow sends the ball deep, trying to get it into the box. He finds it through somehow. And again, we're having trouble seeing. I believe that's Bilecki right along that goal line. Takes a little bit of a hit, but no foul, and it yields a goal kick for the Bluehawks as they were making some noise down there deep in the offensive end.
Watching some of these games, the way the referees have drawn a line as to what they're going to allow, how much physical play, and obviously if the players are playing and respecting each other, even if it's hard play and it's even, they tend to let it go. That's what we saw in the semifinal.
We'll have a foul here at midfield as Ethan Benjamin settled under it. He was fouled by Alan Barreto on the head attempt, so Kaplow will send another ball into that penalty area.
Our opponents have tended to play us very physically. I think that's part of their intent, that they feel that they need to, because our skill level, on the average, is better than most teams.
Kaplow sends one in near the penalty spot, headed around. I think Benjamin there trying to pull it down, and now it will be cleared out by the Bluehawks. Forward to Mannix. Mannix gets fouled. They'll trying to slow him down. CJ Johnson coming back.
That was a good foul. First time that Exeter had that run, and he stopped him. If I was a coach, I'd say, nice job.
Give your defense a chance to reset. Ball sent deep by the Bluehawks. They batted around just outside the penalty area as that's Sean Howe. He runs onto it now, and Bilecki is fouled. So the Bulldogs will clear it out deep in their left back position. Kaplow positions it, surveys the field, and restarts rather quickly as Santerre comes for it. Caden Santerre.
That's Teixeira. A little too
Gonna
heavy.
get forward to Mirza. Mirza, a phenomenal goal scorer, the junior forward. Again, I've said this all season long, just always in the right place at the right time. I don't have the stats in front of me, but I can't imagine anybody has any more goals than Ali Mirza for this Bulldogs team for this season.
I think actually he's number 2, believe it
Ooh,
or not.
okay. Tell me I'm wrong and tell me who it is.
I remember who it is, Corey. One of the things that's difficult to do is stats and keep track of things. And some coaches are very good about keeping in touch with the news outlets and whatnot.
Ball sent forward by Wallace. Gets back onto it. Tavis Wallace, the senior midfielder for the Bulldogs, and now onto it the Blue Hawks. Barreto sends it into midfield, and that gets tipped out of bounds by Keener.
I think one of the things is we've had so many players score, Corey, game after game. You know, we've had a number of high-scoring games, and from what I understand, Exeter does not have as broad a scoring attack as what Bedford does in terms of all the different players that are putting the ball in the back of the net.
Johnson there earned a foul. The Bulldogs restarted. Here's Teixeira. Teixeira, interesting story too. Again, he missed the quarterfinal game, was able to play some in that semifinal game, but an injury just before that quarterfinal game had him on the sidelines. I believe it was a sprained ankle, and he was hobbled, and Coach Pepper made the right decision to limit his minutes even in this last semifinal game to look forward a little bit. You know, again, not looking past Hanover, but at least being smart about a player recovering from an injury.
What we just saw was the ball played forward by Bedford and then backwards across the field, changed the field, then down the right-hand side. I counted, I think, 10 consecutive touches, and then the ball went out of bounds. And it's still Bedford control over there until now.
Deep on that far right wing sideline across the field from where we are high in the booth. Now Keener has a chance for the Blue Hawks. He brings it out. The Bulldogs defense does a nice job to catch back up to it.
Great challenge. Oops.
We had a foul there. I believe Benjamin caught the foot of Cooper Vitti. So the Blue Hawks will have a free kick about halfway in between midfield and the penalty area, so be a decent ball. This is to the top right of Walensky's cage. Ball sent in. Evan Hoey gets a hip on it, deflects it forward, and now Teixeira gets
quick restart.
Gets fouled and starts it quickly. Yeah, unfortunately the official felt like the ball was still moving, so he calls them back, and Exeter has a chance to regroup on the defensive side. Teixeira, footwork here, but it does trickle out of bounds. It'll be a Blue Hawks throw, near side, defensive side for the Blue Hawks. Tennant now kicks it back over his head. Batted around here near midfield and now sent forward for the Blue Hawks. Kaplow volleys it out, and now Johnson tries to bring it down in the midfield. Switches fields, but the Blue Hawks intercept that pass ahead for Barreto. Barreto dispossessed. Kaplow sends it forward for Santerre.
Ali a little slow getting back there. The ball that was played by Teixeira. Couldn't get to it. They're the two that click more than probably any other two players on the Bedford side.
Wallace sends one in. Here's Teixeira. Left wing. Cuts it back. Fires too high. Teixeira down to our left side. Firing into the sun.
Corey, the good
Beautiful
thing about
ball
that
there by Wallace.
Mentioned he's coming off that sprained ankle. He just made a great run and got a shot off. Part of his issue with that has been the stability of 2 feet. That sprained ankle still a little tough.
Yeah, and that was his left foot as he stabbed that left foot to cut back to his right, but then got a solid shot off with that right foot. Unfortunately for the Bulldogs, it was a bit high. Now Benjamin dispossesses.
Ali.
Here's down that right wing.
We have
Fiddles with it right there by the goal line.
Nope.
And the far side official didn't want to make a call too early, was relying on the head official in the center of the field, and it is a goal kick.
Yeah, there was a bit of a delay there, but that's not a bad thing.
No, yeah, exactly. You want them to get the call right.
Contact and getting it right. Yep, absolutely.
Here, Santerre steps into the passing lane. Wallace will push forward. Heavy touch. Tapped away. Marshall Lazowitz. He's forward. Kaplow steps in beautifully to pick that off. Johnson settles and plays back to Tennant. The Bulldogs will build from the back, maybe not. Kaplow sends it forward.
Big benefit with this three-man system that we've got in the games when we get into the tournament like this, and this depth is the fact that you've got a linesman that's in position, hopefully perfectly for every offside call.
Powers with the foul there on Johnson, so the Bulldogs restart quickly. And yes, you're referring to, if folks have not followed this all along, for most games throughout the season, they are just a two-man officiating crew, so therefore they stay in position to call offside for both teams throughout the game. Throw in here with the opportunity. Pops through, header, now Mirza with an opportunity. Ooh, he gets fouled. No call.
Fans are not happy with that.
Pretty tough push from behind on Mirza. No call there. And will be a goal kick for the Blue Hawks. So as I was mentioning, mostly these two-man officiating crews, but here we do have that third official that is roving throughout the middle, as well as the two linesmen in position to call these offside.
Two-man officiating crew. We have a two-man production crew. We've got Bill Jennings here on the camera, Andrew Fenn back at the studio, and I don't know if he's going to be doing any replays during this game. I know we can't see it.
We also have Harry Kozlowski producing the radio for us, so thank you, Harry.
Right. That's right.
Little tip through there, doesn't make a connection. Teixeira was trying a little misdirection play there, and now here near sideline, Will Mannix sends it into the middle.
Good
Benjamin
defense.
Steps through.
Good defense, backs there.
Getting back onto it, Mannix, little back heel, looking to connect with Howe, but the Bulldogs come away with it. Santerre gets out to his left, keeps it in bounds along that left sideline. Now plays forward for Mirza. Mirza delays. Now Johnson will range down the near side left wing.
Nice run.
Tries to make that centering pass. It gets deflected out, and I believe that'll be a throw.
Yeah, it almost made it to the corner, Corey. Corey will have to put a rope on you and let you rappel down here a little bit when you need to see the field. Very, very difficult up here. It's beautiful. The whole stadium is nice, but the view out of here is not good. And Bill Jennings is shaking his head going, oh my gosh, with the sun at this time of day to have a match, it's absolutely not ideal. We're all going to have migraine headaches before we leave.
The Bulldogs with we're working on them already, my gosh. The Bulldogs with a throw in there, trying to connect with Mirza. They fire it across, but it comes out.
No shots on goal yet. We had the one shot by Gabe Teixeira. However, that went way up over the crossbar.
Alex Fua, the goalkeeper for the Blue Hawks, is able to. Now Mannix tries to pop it ahead for himself, and Hoey comes across from his right back position and pops it
first
over the goal line. And yeah, now the Blue Hawks will have a corner kick down to our right. Number 17, Will Mannix, the senior, will take it. Looks like he'll take a left-footed in-swinger down to our right, as Walensky will man the cage. The Bulldogs defense get ahead on it and tap it out. Now Teixeira has some room. He's going to wait. Slowly, now left, out for Santerre, making a run down the left wing. He'll settle things down and keep possession for the Bulldogs. Johnson now tips it wide for
Bilecki. Let's go to the right side of the field. They're probably going to change it up here.
Benjamin in the middle, settles. Bilecki again. One-touch pass gets picked. And now Mannix touches it into the middle for Keener. Keener cuts it back. Tries the right wing, but Bilecki steps up.
Nice job by Bilecki defending there in the perfect position to prevent that attack from getting any further downfield. That was still 35 yards out that they got that time before Bedford defenders were able to stop it. And by the way, both coaches said that they're not planning to do anything different than they have all season. They're not going to mark any of these superstars, whether it's Mannix or Mirza, either end. They feel that they got to continue to play their games, be confident, be relaxed, and just do their thing. That's a quote from both coaches.
Yeah, I mean, well, honestly, if you've gotten this far with an undefeated season, I'm not sure you would want to do anything different. Yes, a superstar in the lineup might change how you think about things, but maybe not your strategy, not your approach. So I agree with both of their ideas here.
Corey, at a little higher level soccer, when you go to college and the pro stuff, and Sean Diaz was on his phone looking at a game and Manchester United and whatnot, looking at scores right before the match. I got a kick out of that. But in those games, they will change their tactics when they're going up against teams that have some players that have some unbelievable skills like that. But for these people, you know, these are still young people. These are, I'm not going to call them kids, but young men. Ooh, nice job. Oh.
Teixeira tries to keep it in on this left wing. Unfortunately, it does go over the touchline, so the Blue Hawks will have a throw-in from their deep right back position.
Another advantage with the three-man system with the assistant referee also calling that ball in and out consistently. They're in the right position to make that call. Can't argue with them.
Just about 25 minutes left here in the first half. 0-0 still your score as the Bulldogs are taking on the Exeter Blue Hawks in this state championship soccer match. Santerre, nice way to get around, but then foiled by the Exeter defense moving forward. Tennant, nice anticipation, steps forward.
Right before that, I'm not positive, but it looked like Exeter may have stepped up on Gabe Teixeira so that they could not, and Bedford knew that he was offside when they stepped up on him. So they didn't pass it to Teixeira.
Pass forward here, finds the feet of Barreto. Now Mannix tries to touch forward. Tennant shields it out and will earn the throw as Nick Myers was in the vicinity for the Blue Hawks. Tennant throws. Good step there by the Blue Hawks. Aiden Powers.
We still have the sun in our eyes, but just noticed that the goalkeeper no longer is dealing with the sun in his eyes.
We're only minutes away from this nuisance evaporating, if you will, as Wallace gains possession for the Bulldogs on that far side, tries to connect with Mirza. Flag is up, so it will be offside.
Successfully, that is timed. The defenders, this is one of the few teams we've seen that have done that, to effectively cut off those passes that are going forward to our attackers. Stepping up when you're taking a chance sometimes, but in the three-man system, if these two coaches are using it properly, it's hard to get away with. They're not going to make mistakes. They're probably going to catch it. So Coach Curran, Exeter, I can understand he is making that decision to do that.
Mirza gets the ball, serves it out wide right to Wallace. Slide tackle there by the Blue Hawks, and the Bulldogs will have their first corner. Down to our left on the far sideline.
I wish we had the stats for each of these teams, how many goals off corners, Corey, and how many are short versus
Get out of here. You're killing me with that
you
short
knew you were going to hear that at some
Yes,
time.
I did. You're killing me.
I'm sorry. It's fun.
I believe Johnson normally takes these, although Bilecki being the left footer might range over there. It does look like Johnson will step on. It'll be a right-footed
I can tell you,
outswinger.
it's definitely a Bedford player that's going to take the corner.
I sure hope so.
This son's brutal right now. Oh, my God.
Served into the box just across the mouth, a little strong. And that is pushed out by the Blue Hawks towards midfield, but Tennant ranges forward, gains possession, and now he'll settle and bring it all the way back to Kaplow. Kaplow back to Tennant. They'll try this left side. Into the middle, they missed the pass. Santerre is not quite there. It finds the feet of Barreto, and now Santerre recovers.
Great play by Santerre there to hold his ground, being in the right position to make it very difficult for the Exeter player to get by him.
Johnson back out to Hoey. Blue Hawks deflected it away. Now Benjamin challenges in the midfield.
And Benjamin wins it.
He sure does.
One-on-one
Caplo
battle.
pops it forward. Santerre. And now Johnson. He's onto it, making a run. Trying to make use of those legs. Bilecki has served the ball out to this left wing. Passes it in from the side.
Cornered.
His left-footed cross deflects off one of those defenders in the middle, I believe, Cam Lacouture. And as you said, the Bulldogs earn a corner down to our left. Near side. Johnson will be taking it again.
It appears to me, Corey, I don't know if you can tell as well, agree with this, but it looks like for the most part, Exeter might have a height advantage with the feet on the ground.
Did you see that short corner, Bill Klein?
I couldn't see any of it.
Okay, well.
The ball was in play. It was
not the best play, as the Blue Hawks were able to sniff it out rather quickly. Here they push forward. Walensky comes off his line. It's the first time he's touched the ball this afternoon. Again, 0-0 is your score. We are halfway through this first half here at Manchester Memorial. The Bulldogs and the Blue Hawks still scoreless as they each seek a championship. Again, of course, the Bulldogs seeking back-to-back championships here this afternoon, having taken last year's victory over the Hanover squad. 4-0 was the final. Fua comes off of his line as that ball ranged into the Exeter Blue Hawks penalty area. Mannix tries to touch wide for Myers, but misses the mark. Bulldogs send it forward, and unfortunately it goes out of bounds.
If 60 minutes from now of play, if we're still tied, we've got, because it's postseason now and semis and finals, the overtime went to sudden victory, 2-15s, and then we'll see what happens from there.
Pavel Pazurek is on for the Blue Hawks as he substitutes in for Cooper Vitti. Foul here is called on Barreto, so the Bulldogs restart quickly. Johnson onto it. Some ping pong passing as they navigate the midfield and keep possession quite nicely. Hoey from that right back position sends it back to Caplo.
They were demonstrating the basic strategy, basic tactic skill of trapping. Perfect traps, control, and then the passes.
And they're just looking for that errant pass. Benjamin, beautiful job muscling the Blue Hawks player off of that one. Regains possession for the Bulldogs. Bilecki chips it forward. Nice little play for himself.
Yeah.
But then gets swarmed by three defenders. Mannix crosses up the defender Tennant. He's pushing forward, serves it into the middle. Shot low. Walensky is there, right to him. The shot came in from Jude Keener, ranging in from midfield, as Mannix was able to serve a beautiful ball for the oncoming Keener. His shot was low and strong, but unfortunately for him, right at Walensky.
Where Walensky was positioned, he was pretty far back. He did not cut much of the angle, so he really gave a lot of the goal. It was open for a shot, but an unlucky shot that went straight to the keeper.
Santerre battles Powers at the midfield. Johnson sends it forward. That's going to be too far. And Fua comes off of his line.
I believe that was
the Blue Hawks.
Good hard shot, required a save, correct, Corey?
For the Blue Hawks, yeah, absolutely. And honestly, for the Bulldogs too, yeah. Mirza tries to get onto it, redirect it out to the right wing. That is intercepted by the Blue Hawks defense. Caplo again coming forward, stepping up with a strong header, trying to link up with his forward teammates. Benjamin now to Bilecki.
Again winning the open field sort of balls that are placed not necessarily to a player, but Bedford's getting to those balls. This is a good one.
Chipped ahead for Teixeira, deep in the right wing. We'll see how he tries to come out of this. It's tipped out off the Blue Hawk defender, and the Bulldogs will have a throw in very deep in that right corner. Tipped out of bounds by Finn Toppitzer.
Going off, I believe.
He is, I believe. Yeah, and he's coming off kind of slowly. It looks like Vinny Rodriguez will be the substitution for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, shortly after that that injury, which occurred taking penalty kicks, he came over the house, and I saw the ankle, and it was pretty nasty.
Wallace tries to push forward there. It is tipped out off of his shin, so the Blue Hawks will have a goal kick. That sun is just about down over the horizon. Hopefully we're getting a little better video of this game. Goal kick forward. Battled at the midfield. Bilecki plays it forward and off of a Blue Hawk player, so he'll have a throw in near sideline. 16 minutes to go here in the first half. 0-0 still your score. The Bulldogs battling the Blue Hawks for this state championship. Again, we welcome in our listeners on 105.1 Bedford's WBNH, as well as the rebroadcast for BCTV. Wallace here has a chance, far sideline. Bring it to the middle. Low shot.
And it's touched for the corner. Save. Looked like that was probably heading for the post. Difficult to tell from up here with the angle and the very tail end of the sun right now.
It honestly looked like it was curving out and away, maybe beyond that post, but either way, Fua thought it was dangerous enough to tip it out and away, dove over to his right side and got a hand on it. Colin Johnson will take the corner from our left near side. Dangerous ball at the near post, volleyed out nicely by the Blue Hawks defenders.
Yeah, the defender there kind of on the post was able to get the ball under control and didn't have to clear it out.
Johnson with a nice stutter step deep down in the left wing.
Good
tries to play that lefty cross.
Nice.
They earn it back. Johnson fires, blocked out in front. Santerre gets back to his right foot, but layers of defense come to support for the Blue Hawks. Rodriguez steps in front, looks for Mirza, tipped away. Missed connection there.
So close.
Just a toe by the Exeter defense was able to deflect it out of the way. Otherwise, Mirza was in a dangerous position, especially for him.
And the keeper, Corey, came off his line quickly. Very, very quick, decisive decision to jump on that ball, preventing anything else from happening in there.
Wallace now far sideline. Rodriguez crosses. Nobody there. Trickles across the goal mouth. And the Bulldogs cannot finish as Rodriguez made a beautiful run. Got some space, sent it right across. It evaded Fua. But unfortunately, nobody there to finish for the Bulldogs.
We've seen that square pass a number of times. That referee, I thought he was. The Exeter player might have been holding the Bedford player, but that square pass through the penalty area, and in that case, the goal area. And but you can't always have somebody there waiting for it. Mirza.
Benjamin ahead to Mirza. His pass gets deflected. Now Benjamin sends forward Wallace down that right wing again. Touches into the middle, can't connect with Rodriguez. And the Blue Hawks defense is there. Here's Pazorek playing forward and out of bounds. Still 0-0 here, 13 minutes to go in the first half. The Bulldogs battling the Blue Hawks from Exeter in this state championship boys soccer match. Forward for Barreto. He looks far side.
Excellent ball control there.
Finds Keener. Keener presses forward for the Blue Hawks down that left wing. Not a lot of time in this half of the field for the Blue Hawks, yet we're still knotted at 0. Tennant volleys one out as they looked to find Mannix in the middle.
Mannix is looking to...
Near side, Lazowitz has a shot, deflected out. Walensky, balancing act, is able to toss the ball back into the penalty area as his momentum was coming out. Obviously, it would have been a handball if he had it in his hands outside of the box.
He was taking a chance with that, but it was a chance worth taking.
Sure was.
And he did it. Oh.
Aplo with a big ball tries to play forward to Mirza. Now Rodriguez runs onto it. Played out and away by Cam Lacouture for the Blue Hawks. Santerre.
Nice.
Excuse me, that's Johnson. Gets his nose in. Gritty dispossession. 50-50 ball. Now Johnson makes a play down the wing, and that's going to be a foul. Little tug on the shirt And pleading his case is Jack Blythe, but it seemed fairly obvious that he pulled on Johnson on the way by, so not quite sure what he was chirping about. Perhaps Kaplow, the captain standing over the ball, was asking for a card there, as it looked like Johnson had a head of steam, and that might have been the last defender, but to no avail. Bilecki runs over it. Kaplow plays it in. Almost over the head of Fua. Wow, just barely got his fingertips on it. It did come out of his hands momentarily, but as he turned, the ball fell right back to him. So almost a very dangerous spot for the Blue Hawks as Kaplow challenged from about 30 yards out. Regrouping now and getting into the offensive area for the Blue Hawks. Far sideline now. Here's Barreto. Plays a diagonal. Looking for Myers, who was on the run. And then Kaplow comes with a header from the center back position. Benjamin plays one high.
Fans saw something there, Corey. I did not see anything. And that, like that could have been an offside if the ball got there. But
the big ball played forward by Lacouture. Hoey plays one and shanks it outside the far sideline. The sun is finally setting here. We can actually see what's going on. A nice relief here for us up in the booth. Lights are coming on here at Manchester Memorial, the home of the Crusaders. Again, we appreciate them hosting today's soccer Division I boys championship game. They also hosted the semifinals this past Wednesday. Both good matches and yielding today's matchup. Benjamin challenges for Barreto. Barreto plays it forward. Wallace cuts it back and seeds a throw in for the Blue Hawks. Far sideline, deep on that left wing.
During the regular season, many of the situations like that, Bedford did not just kick the ball out defensively. They were able to maintain possession anyway and play it up the field. But against this team, that's part of little change in the strategy there. I imagine the Coach Pepper might have said, hey, if you feel like it's pressured and you need to, don't worry about it. Kick it out.
Sure, be smart. Take the pressure off. Yeah, take the pressure off. Let your defense regroup. Yeah, you want to keep possession, but not always possible. And if it seems a little sticky, let's make the safe play instead of the aggressive mistake. Benjamin here heads it forward. Rodriguez can't gain possession as Topitzer will play it back for Lacouture.
That was one of the first times so far in the game that Exeter did maintain possession anyway, although they didn't get any shots off. They maintained possession in their attacking half.
They play it all the way back to Fua. He plays it near side as they change fields. Now Mannix plays one through the middle. Here's Keener. Keener plays it forward. Kaplow anticipates it nicely. Steps up, intercepts the pass, and will calmly regroup with Colin Johnson. Johnson making a run now again. Left wing. Tips it in the middle as he was being tracked by Keener. Rodriguez, now Mirza. Johnson gets to his right foot. Will have a go. Looks for the cross as Wallace was cutting in from that right wing, but it's tipped down and out of harm's way by the Blue Hawks. Bilecki tries for the left wing, but his volley will go out of bounds. 0-0 still your score here. 7:30 left in the first half as the Bulldogs from Bedford battle the Blue Hawks from Exeter in this boys Division I soccer championship match. Benjamin brings it down, finds Wallace for the Bulldogs. They play it back. Hoey plays the ball long. Ooh, tough collision on that far sideline. Good no call, I think. I mean, there's some chirping going on here in the stands, but again, both players, oh, they do call it actually. Benjamin on the foul. I thought that was a good no call, but
I didn't see the, can't hear it from up here, especially with the headset on. I agreed with you, Corey, on that. I didn't necessarily, I thought it was just going to be either a total ignorance or Wouldn't have been a play on because the ball went out of bounds, didn't it?
It did. It should have been a throw-in if the foul was not called. But again, both players looking back, tracking the ball. It seemed like they were both making fair plays on it, shoulder to shoulder. Pretty hard contact, but the official felt that Ethan Benjamin might have been a little bit out of control, so he made the call. Ball goes out of bounds on that far sideline after a throw-in by Hoey. Tipped out, I believe, by Mirza. So the Blue Hawks will throw it in.
In a final yesterday, quick note, a team won its first state's boys soccer championship. That was Milford over Campbell High School. And the unique thing about that is that Milford has been played in both the top size school with us and then dropped down to a lower level if their population over there in Milford's gone down while the population of these other towns has gone up for the last 15, 20 years.
The Blue Hawks into the offensive area, ranging forward, trying to make connections. Getting onto it here is Howe. Turning away from pressure, Mannix. He finds Lazowitz. They switch fields all the way to the other side. Here's Vitti. Gets deflected out of bounds, and the Bulldogs earn the throw. Hoey will take it from his right back position for the Bulldogs. Big ball forward, and now Rodriguez ranges forward. Can't track to it. Lacouture will touch it, and it goes out of bounds right about midfield on that far sideline. Quick programming note for everybody out there. Next broadcast for WBNH and BC TV will be next Saturday, November 16th at 1 p.m., where the boys football squad will be playing in the quarterfinals. They will be playing against Alvern, who won today over Concord 33-10. So the Bulldogs will take on Alvern next Saturday.
What was the regular? Did they play in the regular season, Corey?
They did not. No, the Bulldogs did not play against Alvern in the regular season. So this is a fresh matchup this year.
Some that are similar to this, where these two teams did not meet.
Of course, the Bedford squad went through the regular season undefeated and come into the playoffs as that #1 seed. Well earned. Benjamin ranges forward. Ooh,
that's
tough shot. Wow, they play it as...
Play on. It's a good ball.
Teixeira in the penalty area. That was a tough shot by Benjamin. He took a hard one there at midfield. Two players colliding. Tough, strong play, not dirty in any way, just a hard collision.
Good decision by the referee, who's just stopped the clock as well. But that was a very good call. I saw the foul and saw the referee's arms go out, swing out, indicating the play on. But I couldn't see what happened right after that because there's a section of wall in front of me between windows here. But when I saw where the ball was and the fact that Bedford did maintain control, it was a perfect call.
Howe plays a long ball across the field that goes out of bounds for the Blue Hawks. Hoey throws it in quickly for Wallace. Yeah, it was that play-on situation. The Bulldogs had possession in a threatening area. So again, I agree. It was the right play-on call, not blowing the whistle. Unfortunately, pretty much right as the play-on was off,
Gabe
the Bulldogs lost possession. Yes, Teixeira is back in.
Touch it to him. Touch it to him. There he goes.
Rodriguez does touch it to him. He tries to force it into the middle to, Johnson, who was there. Couldn't quite make the connection.
For the first time in this match, I can see Bill Jennings' little side TV screen that he's added on. He has, in addition, this little fancy arm thing hanging off the side of the camera, very handy.
My apologies, that was Santera that was connecting with Teixeira. Pilecki now with the throw. Connects with Johnson.
Keep it in.
Teixeira tries to track it down on the end line, but it does go out of bounds for a goal kick. 2.5 minutes remaining here in the first half. 0-0 is your score.
The game.
No real. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Bill.
Well, I was just going to real quick mention that the field clock will stop at 2 minutes. In the first half, it stops at 5. In the second half, and the referee keeps the time on the field. And like he did before, which I thought was perfect, there was no ball for the throw-in. And at this point in time, he stopped the clock there. Corey, take it away.
I was just going to basically mention that there really haven't been any real strong, promising scoring opportunities for either squad. throughout this first half. There was a ball that trickled across the goal mouth for the Bulldogs, a beautiful cross by Vinny Rodriguez, but nobody was really there in position to finish, so that was the closest either team has really gotten. Tennant plays it forward. Can't connect.
Saw Gabe Teixeira up there with the possibility of the one-on-one if he could get the ball to him, but he couldn't.
Benjamin.
Little bump, little bump.
Sure, he's being harassed in the midfield by Aiden Powers.
If you saw the player throw his hands up like that, that's an indication to me that he knows he's fouling.
Good cut there by Wallace, but can't connect with Johnson. Now we have a 2-on-2 as the counter strike looks to happen. Caplow with a side tackle.
Mannix got free in the middle of the field. It would have been one-on-one.
And now a counter strike for the Bulldogs. They get forward. Teixeira looks to go one-on-one. Tries the back heel. It gets foiled. And the Blue Hawks clear it out and away. Tennant lets it come down. He settles. Plays it through the middle for Benjamin. Benjamin a little slow on the ball. Coming up and intercepting was Keener. He gets away from pressure and finds Lazowitz.
I'd say that Bedford has won about 8 out of 10 of the one-on-one challenges like that. At that time, the Exeter player, fine job of getting possession.
Here's Keener ranging forward. Far side, cross through the middle, stepping up. Bilecki volleys it forward. Teixeira comes over, challenges.
Breaks it up, and the whoops. Looked like we might have had it stolen then again.
Here's Howe, Sean Howe for the Blue Hawks. Harassed by Bilecki, he touches it forward. Teixeira ahead for Rodriguez. He'll wait. As the Blue Hawks defense is back, he stalls things down, tried to get Bilecki on a run on that left wing. Bilecki was not on the same page, and it goes out of bounds for a goal kick for the Blue Hawks. Under 2 minutes, and there is the halftime whistle. We'll take a break here. The score is knotted at 0. Again, neither squad really having any solid scoring opportunities through that first half. We will regroup and have second half action for you. Again, welcome everybody back in. Corey Munster-Tiger here with Bill Klein. Live out on WBNH 105.1 in Bedford, New Hampshire, bringing you soccer action here for today's New Hampshire State Championship game for Division I boys soccer.
And hopefully within the next 40 minutes plus, we will have a 2024 champion. Could be the repeat of Bedford, or it could be a comeback for the Exeter side who's not had that championship for a number of years. So time will tell. Be interested to see if the teams come out and look any different. But like I said, when I talked to both coaches before the game, they said they're going to do their thing.
They will do their thing, and as we have this 40 minutes of play upcoming, some things hopefully will be sorted out. So an interesting thing here, Bill, we did observe that, and you've talked about it throughout the regular season, that they changed the overtime rules for the regular season and also for the playoffs. If you don't mind repeating what we would see, say that we end regulation time still knotted either at 1-1 or 0-0. Again, it's 0-0 still the score right now, but if we do end in a tie, go over those overtime rules. What are the timing? Is it golden goal? It's 10 minutes each. Just refresh everybody's memory out there.
Regular season, we had no overtime, and that was based on the fact that many fields do not have lights, and when you get to the end of the season, if you have overtime in the regular season, you play some places are going to be playing almost in the dark. Also, the fact that the other major leagues like college soccer got rid of overtime during the regular season as well. So what we're looking at is in the first 2 rounds, it was 2 10-minute sudden victory periods. And then when we go to the semis and the finals, 2 15s followed by penalty kicks. The first 5 penalty kicks, 5 different players, and then they changed this a little bit. They tweaked it. The second 5, and all these players the names are given by the coaches to the referees at that time, that they start the PKs. If they have to go to another 5, then it is 1-1, 1-1 back and forth until one has the advantage, and we have a winner. And here we go. 40 minutes.
We are underway here in the second half. Again, the Division I Boys State Championship game. Deep in that right defensive wing for the Blue Hawks. Deflected out of bounds by Colin Johnson. Blue Hawks will throw it in. Far sideline, Kaplow steps up, volleys it forward. Mirza comes back, heads it down, and finds the feet of Johnson.
Nice touch by Mirza to make that decision to use his head and touch it back to his teammate.
Great turn there by Johnson. Unfortunately, it does go out of bounds on that far sideline. But he was using that outside of his right foot, making a turn to his right. Gained himself some space. Kaplow comes forward and volleys it, looking for Teixeira. Headed down by the Blue Hawks. I believe that was Barreto. And now here stepping up was Topitzer. He plays it forward again. Kaplow stepping through, showing that senior leadership that he has brought all year long from that center back position. Of course, Kaplow, a captain of this year's team, along with Ethan Benjamin. Benji on the ball now, plays it forward.
Both of these teams, their coaches prior to the match, talked to me about how much respect they have for each other, and they said, hey, they'd be shocked if it's not going to be a low-scoring game.
Opportunity here. Mirza plays it forward. Wallace onto it. Teixeira was coming through, couldn't quite get a head or a foot on it. Now Wallace plays it across. Mirza heads it.
Oh!
Can't quite get a solid shot on goal. And the Blue Hawks come out of their own end. Santerre now back onto it for the Bulldogs. Best action that we've seen either way so far as the Bulldogs pressing forward. They can smell the opportunity, but couldn't quite find the back of the net there.
Referee making the call on that throw-in. Everybody's turned at the linesman, but the referee was much closer, as he should be. The diagonal system of control does mean that he's running in the diagonal. So he's trying to box the play in between the referee. Look at this.
Here's it again.
Let it go out.
Tries to play it forward, but earns the corner.
Good job there. Good decision. Yeah, all I'm saying is that, they're trying to box the play in so you have two referees viewing the ball at all times. And when he goes into that corner, the referee's moving to his left because he's got the far side, or near to us, assistant referee, looking for the backside of the players.
Johnson will play it in, righty in-swinger, looking for the head of a teammate. Kaplow plays it forward, and coming out from his goal line is Fua. He picks it up and will settle. He'll kick it away, actually. He punts it rather quickly, looking for Mannix. Ball finds the feet of Barreto. He cuts it, plays it across. Keener, counter-strike opportunity for the Blue Hawks. Far sideline, they range forward. Try to step around the defender there, but true to the task are the Bulldogs. Benjamin challenges in the midfield now, and he will pick up a foul. Surprised they didn't let that play on there, but as the Exeter player, I couldn't quite tell who it was. I believe it was Barreto, was back onto the ball rather quickly, and now Lacouture will come forward from his center back position and play a long ball into the penalty area.
If all of you listened along during that halftime when Lauren Fox was up here, it was interesting, Corey, to hear his perspective on the officiating.
Couture plays it in. Sorry to cut you off, but opportunity there for the Blue Hawks. Yeah, go ahead with Lauren Fox.
With this. Yeah, just the different perspective where he thought that the referee was not doing a great job, that he felt he was being a little inconsistent. Which I don't know.
High scrutiny, no matter who you are, the referees are always going to feel the heat. As you heard, he felt like play was rather rough in the midfield, but a couple of calls that could have been made in the box were not. I agree with at least one of them, down to our left-hand side where Mirza had a tough hit from his backside. No call there, but either way, we played on, and 0-0 we still sit.
What a potential dangerous throw into that.
Pulled out and away by Fua.
Goal area.
rolled out to his right-hand side, and the Blue Hawks will play it forward. Tennant steps around the offensive player for the Blue Hawks. Coming forward now and having a challenge here. Walensky comes out from his line and makes a save. Huge play there. Walensky coming all the way out.
Corner.
Deflecting it away. That was Keener, I believe, coming forward. Had a great opportunity and just couldn't quite get it around Walensky. Great opportunity there for the Blue Hawks. Snuffed out by Walensky.
Honestly, looked to me like that was probably going to be a first goal of the game, but it wasn't.
Still 0-0 here from Manchester Memorial. Ticking down to 34 minutes in the regulation play. Lefty in-swinger corner kick is headed out and away.
Nice clear.
Benjamin? No, that was Kaplow.
And now Ali.
Here's trips over the ball.
And although that was, I think, clearly the ball, Corey, the fans were yelling at that, so.
Of course, you know, he hit the ground somewhat hard, but again, he didn't trip over the Blue Hawks player. He tripped over the ball. Chip ahead here. Exeter, goal!
And that was an excellent trap turn shot. Well played. And, you know, I was just going to say something, Corey, about the way that the game has gone. That the Bedford defense hasn't had to work all that real hard because the midfielders have been doing most of the work.
A marvelous chip ahead. Barreto came onto it for the Blue Hawks and found that lower left corner. And the Blue Hawks go up 1-0 here with 33 minutes left in the second half. Didn't quite see where the assist came from, but it was a beautiful chip ahead.
Didn't get to see a lot of the, especially, you know, all the away games that Bedford's played, but I have no idea. Do you have any idea, Corey, how many times they've been down?
They gave the assist to Marshall Lazowitz. Again, a marvelous touch forward. And yeah, I believe this is the first time the Bulldogs have been down, and now Mirza has an opportunity and strikes! No, he does not. That's outside of the cage.
To the outside.
Apologies. My goodness, that looks like he had finished. He tried to cut it and just outside of that far post. Again, apologies there. That sure looked like he had answered immediately, but it stays 1-0.
Well, he didn't miss by much, Corey. That had to be just outside.
Either way, no goal. It is a goal kick. And it is headed out of bounds by the Bulldogs. Yes, I believe this must be the first time the Bulldogs have been behind all season.
I believe they only had, I'm not positive, but I think only 4 goals scored on them the entire season.
Throw in far sideline for Logan Tennant. Comes all the way forward. And now the Bulldogs back onto it. They earn the throw in on the far side. Forward. Here's Mirza again. He's onto it, pressing forward. Tries to get to his left. Slide tackled nicely. La Couture.
Referee signaled play on that.
Well, geez, I didn't think it was a play on. It just looked like a nice tackle. Wallace here. Gains possession, and Hoey back onto it. Tries to tip forward, but stepped into by the Blue Hawks. We'll see how aggressive and how early the aggressiveness comes from the Bulldogs. Of course, playing from behind now, the Blue Hawks lead 1-0 on a great goal by Barreto, Alan Barreto, for the Blue Hawks. Good cut back here. Stepping in was Johnson. Walensky gathers and plays forward. Here's Barreto, the goal scorer. Tips it ahead for himself. Now looking left side, here's Mannix. Mannix all the way down by that goal line. Tipped around, it stays inbounds for now, and now finally slowly rolls over the end line for a corner.
Yeah, I just checked the stats, Corey. Bedford had 5 goals scored on them in the regular season. Exeter 13. Same very similar final record, except for a very last game extra tie for the Exeter side.
Mannix plays it across.
Mannix.
Getting onto it here, and coming off of the goal line was Hoey. That ball had eyes for the back of the net, still getting batted around in the penalty area, and then finally cleared by the Bulldogs. Good opportunity again for the Blue Hawks. Hoey was just there and on the line and in position to deflect it out, but Walensky, phenomenal saves before, beaten for the goal, and then there Hoey was able to come to the rescue of his goalkeeper.
Far now 30 minutes to go. 30 minutes left to play here.
Lazowitz with the throw. Bounces high. Batted around in Bedford's penalty area. Now played across. Trying to get onto it was Cooper Vitti. And now another opportunity. Goal! Goal for Alan Barreto again. Got onto a loose ball, got to his right foot, and found the lower right corner this time.
For the first 45 minutes, Exeter had no attack inside the penalty area. And now, in the last few minutes, Exeter totally turns things upside down, inside out, upside down, all the way around. 2-0. Incredible.
Just 5 minutes apart. Barreto strikes twice. And the Blue Hawks look like they're in commanding position here. 29:37 left in this second half.
Two very clean, excellently executed goals.
Barreto with the brace has the Blue Hawks up by 2. And now the urgency is really going to ratchet up on this Bulldog squad as they are in a spot. Throw forward by Hoey. Barreto onto it again. Pivots, turns, looks for help. Benjamin harasses him. They find Powers. Distributes wide. Here's Topitzer. He ranges forward past midfield. Nice step there by Bilecki. Little 1-2. Excuse me, that was Bilecki. Johnson comes from behind and earns the ball back.
Play on.
Bilecki earns the throw on that far sideline. Into the middle here, Santerre. Forward for Johnson, back to Santerre. Foiled on that right back position, Topitzer, but now the Bulldogs have an opportunity. They range forward, coming in from the left wing. Ooh, tough one there. No call. Johnson was ranging forward. Here's Barreto again. Kaplow slows him down. Plays it forward into the middle. And now across. Walensky comes out. And again, slows things down.
Is that Mannix right there in front of the goal? I think it is.
I believe that was Keener. Oh, excuse me. No, you're right. That was Mannix coming across.
He's got a large presence out there on the field.
Bilecki can't get by the Blue Hawks defense, and now Benjamin earns it back. Plays it out wide. Now comes back to it. He ranges into the middle. Across the middle of the field and changes fields. Hoey steps in.
Great job by Hoey.
Forward for Wallace. Wallace down the right wing. Even with the top of the box. Tries to step through and now earns a corner kick for the Bulldogs. Johnson hustles near side down to our right. Excuse me, this is Santerre that will take this.
Still a lot of time to play, but obviously this is new pressure that Bedford's not used to doing. To have to come back like this, especially down 2 goals at this point.
Santerre plays it just inside the 6-yard box and headed out by the Blue Hawks defense. Benjamin onto it, near sideline. Tries to play it forward. That's deflected out by Vitti. And now cleared out by Fua.
Fua happy just to get a break there as Bedford's starting to mount a little bit of an organized attack.
Here's Hoey. Tries a big throw. Looking in the middle for Mirza. Can't quite get ahead on it. And trying to clear it out here was Keener. And it comes all the way back to Fua. He pounces on it, falls all the way to the ground, and will have his defense clear up. Punts it into the middle of the field. Kaplow comes forward, heads it all the way to Mirza. Feints to his right, goes out to his left. Here's Rodriguez.
Rodriguez, nice play here. Look at this.
Can't connect into the middle.
Needed that one more pass.
Played all the way out. And now your goal scorer, 2 goals for Barreto. As the Bulldogs trail 2-0 to the Blue Hawks. Benjamin comes back, earns the ball back for the Bulldogs. Wallace into the middle. He'll switch fields. Tennant comes forward, presses that left side. Bilecki now all the way on that left touch line. Tries to get by. Finds a little bit of space, comes across, and right to the goalkeeper, Fua. He did not move his feet. He didn't need to. He corrals it, pulls his defense up, and we tick down to 25 minutes to go in this game. The Blue Hawks lead 2-0 on 2 goals just 5 minutes apart for Alan Barreto. The first on a beautiful chip forward, the second on a corral and a turn. Found low corners. The first down to that low left corner and the second to that low right corner. Just outstanding plays by Alan Barreto. Mannix with a throw in near sideline now. He'll slow things down wisely. Lazowitz will take the throw. He waits to set things up. And time ticks away. Barreto heads it. Tennant plays it forward. Santerre will run onto it. Plays it to Bilecki. Little chip forward as he looked for Santerre getting free. And now Benjamin comes onto it. Avoids 2 defenders, and now he'll press on that left wing. His pass is tipped away. 50-50 ball, and now it's earned by the Blue Hawks. Santerre now into the middle. Rodriguez was fixing his shoe and couldn't quite run onto it. Played forward and long. Here's Mannix, but it does go out of bounds. Bulldogs throw.
It's a shoe fixing festival over here to our right. It's kind of, I've not seen that. I do remember that in the playoff game, girls playoff game, I believe it was last year, that a player went to tie their shoes and the referee gave them a timeout, which was totally incorrect. They're out in the field. You can't do it like that. It's not done like that.
Kaplow tips it away from the on-rushing Barreto.
That's
now
what
a big
you call
throw.
Color commentating, Corey.
Fair enough. Appreciate all those
Add
shoes.
a little color.
Color here. We're going to need some more support. Barreto looking for the hat trick. He takes a big shot with his left foot, and it goes well over the cage. But again, these Blue Hawks are not just turtling. They are ready to score again, and they want to keep the pressure on this Bulldogs defense, and they earn it back here. Chip forward, Barreto, beautiful save by Walensky. Wow, diving to his right, gets just his right paw on it. That was a marvelous volley by Barreto, and his bid for a hat trick was pushed aside by Walensky, but what an amazing volley by Barreto.
I'd say that's the probably the biggest save that Walensky's made this entire season. It was a beautifully executed dive to the right, his right.
Blue Hawks play it on the ground, passes, and Hoey is able to, that was Wallace, tips it out near sideline. And the Blue Hawks will have a throw. Big throw as they can threaten into the box. Volleyed ahead. Walensky lets it go out of bounds. So it is a goal kick for the Bulldogs. They need to motor. Bill, we'll have to see if that save has any bearing. Again, the Bulldogs trail 2-0 with just under 22 minutes to go in this game. They have some work to do, but that was, again, a marvelous save by Walensky. Kaplow, far side. Tennant runs back onto it. Looks quickly to Bilecki. That is deflected away, and Tennant will retreat. Kaplow now
in the games that I've seen, this is the first game in which we've played a team that was able to prevent the Bedford's, multiple, like I mentioned before, the touches, 10, 15, 20 in a row. This is interesting right here.
Wallace, a little stutter step as he brought it down beautifully. They try to tackle him. It's foiled by the Blue Hawks, and now Johnson plays it wide right. Teixeira, who's back in there, is down to the right wing, who gets it now. Plays it forward. His pass through the middle gets tipped away, and Mannix comes on to it. Gets it out to his left. Heavy touch is taken away by Kaplo and played forward. Barreto onto it, though, for Exeter. They play it across. Here's Lazowitz.
Just coming up.
Sideline.
20 minutes left. Half of the half. 20 minutes to go. D1 finals.
Exeter leads Bedford 2-0 here with those 21 minutes left. Hoey plays it out. Well out of bounds. They chase that one down, but there's an extra ball there. So Toppitzer will throw it in. He finds the feet of Powers into the middle. Lazowitz, far sideline. Tips it ahead, looking for Mannix. Tennant will volley it out of bounds. Still deep in Bulldog territory. These Blue Hawks are not relenting. The Bulldogs will need to dig deep. They'll need to find at least one tally soon, or this is going to be out of reach. The foul is called on the Blue Hawks back in within Bedford's 18-yard box.
It was 8 years ago that Exeter had their last state championship, and they're hungry for one. One of the most winning programs in the state year after year after year. Very, very seldom have a truly off year. And even if they're not in the top, 4 or 6 at the end of the season, they've moved ahead most years.
Wallace earns the ball for the Bulldogs. They find Bilecki on the far side as Tennant came forward. Chips it ahead. Santerre. Dispossessed by Powers.
Nice job by Santerre. Win that ball back.
Benjamin now, near side. Wallace. Tavis Wallace tries to go one-on-one. That's foiled. Played ahead. Hoey is able to gain possession. Plays it back for Kaplo. Kaplo plays a long ball, looking for Mirza. Got a foot on it, deflected it to the near side of the field where Benjamin is onto it. Takes a little space. Makes a nice one-on-one move into the middle. Here's Bilecki. Bilecki, stutter step, fires one in, right at Fua.
Gabe Teixeira was right there on the doorstep. If that was misplayed, he was ready to pick it up, put it in the back of the net.
Ready for the rebound. Smart play there by Teixeira to track that all the way in. But Fua was sure-handed, and no opportunity for the Bulldogs. Johnson comes down with it. He's chased back in the defensive area by Barreto. Shielded off, and the Blue Hawks will have a throw. 2-0 is your score. Exeter leads Bedford. 17.5 remaining in this game, as Exeter looks to foil the plans of a back-to-back for the Bulldogs. Heavy touch here lands at the feet of Wallace. He hesitates, now moves forward, taking some space, finds it far side to Bilecki. Good defensive play there by Exeter.
Good call.
Bilecki fouls. And now the Blue Hawks will be able to burn off a few seconds as they drag their feet.
Gabe Teixeira and Ali Mirza are up there with front row seats, hoping that the ball would be played to them one more time. They're the two that have connected consistently together to end a play from the Bedford side to end in a goal. Not this afternoon, not yet anyway.
Nice move here. Keener into the middle. Barreto tried to play it back to him. Deflected away by the Bulldogs. Teixeira onto it now, but loses. Playing forward. Toppitzer to Barreto.
Offsides.
For Mannix, who was cutting in. Yeah, it was going to be off, but didn't matter. Now Mirza tries to track near side. La Couture keeps it inbound.
That was purely a lucky play by him. Didn't look too pretty, but it worked. Effective.
Vitti avoids some pressure, and now an errant pass.
Player open the far left. I can't tell who it is, but nice move by Gabe.
Teixeira crosses.
The
Blue Hawks are there to head it out of the way. Johnson.
Nice ball. Unfortunately,
ooh, tough tackle there. That might
card on
that might earn a card. No,
he would have stopped the clock. The first thing is to stop the clock. And Bedford, quick replay here.
We're back onto it.
Oh,
look for Santerre. Johnson had him, but couldn't quite make the connection. Benjamin fires. That gets foiled, and clearing it all the way out are the Blue Hawks from their defensive end. Toppitzer clearing things away. We'll stop the clock for an injury, as I believe that's Howe. Sean Howe will be trotting to the sideline. Tennant is going to go out as Coach Peppers puts in Vinny Rodriguez, wanting some more offensive firepower. Looks like they might change their formation and put too high with Mirza and Rodriguez.
They moved Gabe Teixeira back in the hopes of him probably being able to feed one of them since they're a little healthier. Let Gabe do what he's doing right here.
Bilecki is back on that left back, and now Mirza tries to get to it. Teixeira feeding forward, but the Blue Hawks are stacking it up on this defensive end smartly, and they foil that. Owie to Teixeira. Teixeira settles, plays it in, and that's cleared away. La Couture onto it for the Blue Hawks. Caplow heads it forward to Benjamin. Benjamin, near side Hoey. Hoey. Excuse me, yes, it is Hoey. Now Teixeira. It's out of bounds. Teixeira keeps it in. Oh, tough play there.
Be careful.
He gifted a throw in to the Blue Hawks, and they'll drag their feet again. 2-0 is your score. 14 minutes to go in this game. The Blue Hawks lead the Bulldogs in this state championship final. Big throw forward for Exeter. Ranging forward now, left wing, Keener. Plays it forward, Mannix. Heavy touch, that'll go over the line and yield a goal kick for Bedford.
Mannix just displaying his speed, not just the techniques, but he's obviously very quick on his feet. I wonder if he runs track, Corey.
Who knows? Somebody does. Caplow plays it forward.
Who knows? There, look at that.
Mirza touches it forward, tries to link with Rodriguez, just out of his reach.
Almost got there.
Wallace, though, steps in, moves forward into the middle of the field, draws two defenders, drops it for Santerre.
Bring it wide.
Teixeira for Mirza, touches back in the middle. Santerre back to Teixeira, and the Blue Hawks swarm and take it away. Here's Mannix. He'll settle. Plays it forward. Here's Keener on that far right wing. Caplow plays him one-on-one. Keener chips forward. Mannix is well offside, and they do blow it dead.
Some of this little trickery type of fancy footwork that Bedford's playing works for them when they're playing an opponent that isn't quite as talented as this Exeter side is. But the Exeter side has picked up almost 100% of those attempts.
Barreto looking for Mannix. Mannix fouls. The Bulldogs will have a free kick. Caplow sets it down. Was looking to restart quickly, but will take his time now and play a long ball from that left side of the box. A tough call there for Exeter as they were trying to post up. Myers will get called as he was challenging Santerre close to midfield. And now Bilecki changes fields near side. Hoey. Excuse me, that's Wallace back to Hoey. Two of them look so similar. Hoey plays it forward, looking for Mirza. Deflected away by Exeter. Wallace, now Rodriguez. Teixeira plays it forward. Draws two defenders, gets to the end line, chips it across, nobody there. Johnson.
Johnson should have stayed wider on that, at least in my opinion, to be ready to move in on that type of a ball.
Tough one there. Santerre tries to play it through and earns the corner. Santerre hustles to that far corner, down to our right. Wants to play this quickly. He'll take a right-footed in-swinger. Puts his hand in the air, approaches, swings it through, low liner, touched out by the Blue Hawks. Benjamin will fire, deflected out front by the Blue Hawks. Wallace meets two or three defenders. That ball that Benjamin played had Fua diving to his right. So if it didn't hit one of those Blue Hawks defenders in front, it had a very good chance.
And it wouldn't have been just a one-goal game in the semis if it hadn't been for the blocked shots of these Bedford players. Whistle blows.
Foul here by Exeter. We're ticking down to 10 minutes here. Exeter leads Bedford in this state championship Division I soccer match. 2-0 is your score. The Bulldogs showing more and more urgency as we tick down.
This is close enough for him to potentially shoot for that far upper corner.
Bilecki will come on to it. Righty chips it ahead, looking for a teammate in a threatening area. Cleared out by the Blue Hawks. Bilecki to Rodriguez. Swarmed there by the Exeter defense, and they just play a long ball forward.
Exeter's dropped an extra defender back at this point. They're playing stopper and an extra back there in the middle. I don't know what to call them, but they've just got, they're playing defensively for now. They're happy with the 2-goal lead.
As they should. They're packing the area just outside of the 18-yard box, and now playing forward. Barreto can't get to it. Caplow plays it near side to Hoey. Hoey outside of his foot, gets tackled. No call. No call needed as the ball was touched there. Teixeira plays it to Hoey.
Nice.
All the way back to
nice
Caplow.
Control there by Teixeira to get it back pass, and then moving it forward. Ali, come on.
Caplow trying for Ali Mirza, couldn't quite get onto it. Here's Mannix clearing out for the Blue Hawks. Strength and speed now ahead to Barreto. Barreto can't get it past Caplow, who plays it near side to Hoey, and now Wallace.
Even with the emphasis on defense by the Blue Hawks, correct? Blue Hawks? Exeter Blue Hawks. I haven't said that all game.
Wow.
They're still...
I've said it several times, and the Blue Hawks will foul.
It's not that I haven't been listening to you, Corey. Trust me on that. I've listened to every word you've said. But what I was going to say is, in spite of this extra defense, Exeter still got that player all the way over midfield to challenge our fullback, who had a rush to make a play on the ball, which hasn't not happened Bedford's entire season. That's not happened. This Exeter team is highly, highly skilled, obviously, to be ahead 2-0 with good goals.
Bilecki runs over it. Caplow fires one in. Fua is there. Saves, falls to the ground, and as we approach 7.5 minutes, the other thing they have not done is score here today. They are down 2-0. Exeter leads in this game. Fua shanks the punt. Caplow, that was Benjamin with the head. Now Johnson heads it back to Bilecki.
Unfortunately,
pop it forward for Rodriguez.
Nice hard shot, but right at the keeper instead of looking for the upper corner on that one to get it over the head of the defenders.
Rodriguez earns it back for the Bulldogs. Here's Santerre to Johnson. Back to Bilecki. Santerre turns. Looks for Mirza, cutting through, can't connect. Fua comes out and smothers it. 7 minutes to go. 2-0 lead for Exeter. Bulldogs really getting down to desperation time. They're going to have to tilt the field, but they're also going to have to find the back of the net, not once but twice. Benjamin heads it. Johnson touches it for Teixeira. Teixeira, Wallace now. Kaplow. Bilecki. Bilecki forward. They try 1-2 there, but it's touched out and away, and now Exeter looks to counter-strike. Mannix, through ball. Nice between his legs. He'll settle things down. Here's Keener. He'll quiet things. Keener with his right foot. Can't get it on the cage. The Bulldogs have a goal kick. This is those counter-strike opportunities again as the Bulldogs press forward. They leave themselves open to one of these counter strikes. They've changed their formation, moved some folks forward as they look to get on the scoreboard. Now Kaplow will come forward after the goal kick. Rodriguez deflects it. Mirza can't get to it. Cleared out and away. That was Blythe. Now Wallace into the middle. Plays it all the way across. Bilecki. Closing in on the penalty area. Here's Johnson. Colin C.J. Johnson gets to his right, plays one across, and it's headed out and away to Barreto. He just clears it out to midfield. Kaplow, near side. Hoey.
Wallace has had a great game tonight. Played very, very well.
This Blue Hawks defense just snuffing out all of these long balls into Mirza as they're trying again and again to find him right at the top of the box. Or Rodriguez another. Here's Mirza trying to get onto it. Can't. Coming in, Wallace has an opportunity. Can't turn. Shot. Rodriguez skies it well over and out of the stadium. That went over the green monster. And the Bulldogs had a bit of a threat there, but can't muster a shot on goal.
Other than the dead ball situations, the restarts, including the corners, that's the first shot that was really, hit hard. However,
we are inside 5 minutes. The scoreboard clock has stopped. 2-0 is your score. The Exeter Blue Hawks lead the Bedford Bulldogs here in this state championship game. Division I boys soccer. And each second that ticks off, it looks bleaker and bleaker for your Bulldogs. Nice 1-2 here, getting through a ping pong ball and finding one of several Exeter defenders stacked up out maybe 15 yards from that goal line. Teixeira here. Now Hoey. Teixeira slips as he goes to strike the ball, and the Blue Hawks will.
He's holding his knee.
Yeah, that look is not comfortable. Knee or calf or.
Stop the clock here and.
Might have been that same ankle. Oh no, you think he's cramping.
Great sportsmanship. Look, this is great.
Yeah, Barreto, your goal scorer for the Blue Hawks, is helping stretch out Teixeira. I believe that's a cramp.
Yeah, I think you're right. Well, because of what they're doing, they know what they're doing. They know each other, and they know their. Gabe knows his body, and.
Looked like a calf cramp as they're trying to push down on his foot.
Yeah.
Looks like it is relieved now as he's back on his feet, but limping. Tough one there, and as you said, just great sportsmanship there by your goal scorer. Yes, your only goal scorer, as he has both for Exeter, Alan Barreto, helping Teixeira back to his feet, helping him right away to stretch out that calf cramp. Teixeira will go to the near sideline. They'll send in a substitution.
Needs to come out. The assistant referee, I think, was explaining that to him, that he did have to go out. And I saw Coach Pepper up there talking to a player who's coming in for him.
Logan Tennant will come in on the back line as they push Eli Kaplow forward. Tennant will play center back now. They're looking for Kaplow to make something happen up top as he has some offensive skills that can be explored. Tennant will be that center back as Teixeira slowly makes his way over there. They've stopped the clock and they're allowing a few minutes here for him to get to that far sideline.
Either of my associates here in the press box know how much time's left. Did you start this and stop it?
I did not. I did not have an accurate time. So we probably are at least 3 minutes in. Bilecki will try one from deep. That goes far and outside. We got to be getting down to about 2 minutes left in this game, and further and further out of reach for the Bedford Bulldogs. The Exeter Bluehawks lead 2-0 here as we approach the end of this game. Again, 2 goals by Alan Barreto, finding the back of the net just 5 minutes apart from each other, close to the start of this this second half.
So we're going to nominate Barreto for All-Star of the game probably at this point.
I mean, how do you not have him as your man of the match?
2 great hard hit balls clear.
Cooper Vitti goes into the middle, tries to find Mannix. His pass goes awry. Wallace brings it down, but it's taken away. And now we hear the Exeter student section likely accurately chanting, "It's all over." Here's Barreto. He'll settle things down, keep possession, and try to burn time off this clock. It's tipped out of bounds. Wallace earns the throw for the Bulldogs. Kaplow. Back to Wallace. They play it forward. Mirza can't get ahead, but it does find the feet of Johnson on the far side.
Yeah, not cleanly played, but deflected effectively to get the advantage, control, at least possession.
Kaplow now takes a second, and it gets shut down. Coming forward is Cooper Vitti.
Well-timed, blocking slide there, slide tackle.
Wallace. Ball played out of bounds by Keener. Bulldogs with a throw in here. Kaplow with the throw, looks for Rodriguez. It's played back to the defensive end. Here's Hoey tracking it down. Hoey looks for help. Far side, Benjamin. Near side, Tennant. Wallace.
Good decision to go to that ball because he had a player coming down on him hard.
Vitti was ranging forward for the Bluehawks and shutting down Tavis Wallace's space, so he had to come back to it strong. Here's Barreto trying to track down a long ball. Hoey does a great job of knocking it out of his possession. Tennant comes all the way back. Forward for Wallace. He'll take space.
Nice play by Mr. Hoey.
Forward at the
Keeper's
top of the
out.
box. Keeper was well out. I'm not sure that was a great decision, but doesn't hurt him. Rodriguez gets onto it. Vinny Rodriguez slips and falls away from the ball. The Bluehawks take it over, and now Tennant back in his defensive end.
Referee just took a close look at his watch, and he's looking very closely. He's counting down right now, I'm pretty sure. He's got probably 10 seconds left.
Some excitement on the Exeter Bluehawks bench, and you can understand why. They are ticking down to a state championship here. 2-0 is the score. They lead on 2 goals by Alan Barreto. Barreto plays forward looking for Mannix. He tries to squirt through the middle. Logan Tennant is able to chip it away near side. That wasn't Mannix either. That was Keener trying to track that one down.
And this is going to be
onto it. That's it. 3 whistles. And the Exeter Bluehawks have come into Manchester Memorial High School, the number 2 seed. 2 undefeated teams here. There had to be 1 winner and 1 loser. And 2 marvelous goals by Alan Barreto are the difference makers here today. The Exeter Bluehawks take the state championship. Some exasperation by the Bedford Bulldogs. Very frustrated they couldn't finish in the final third. And your state championship Exeter Bluehawks will be crowned in just a few minutes. Bill, any thoughts from this game?
Well, it turned out to be basically exactly what I thought, and both coaches said that it's going to probably be scored by, 1 or 2 goals, and well played, hard fought, but cleanly played game. We didn't see any cards with any cards. A highlight for me was that little episode over here after Teixeira went episode, the sportsmanlike conduct. And I saw that a couple of the times in the game when some of the players did foul each other and they turned to each other in almost like apologies. I'm not going to say that's one of the greatest matches. Exeter's had a couple games, a couple that I refereed that I think were better. Bedford, last couple of years, last year, for crying out loud, they were, their state championship run was one of the best ever. Last 2 games of the season, you can't beat that. They played so beautifully. Tonight, they played well, and they got beat by a team that tonight showed consistent all over the field, defense, offense, goalkeeping. They were the better team. Congratulations to them. Of course, both teams are going to graduate quite a few seniors, or who knows what's going to happen next year, Corey. But everybody's going to move on, and some of our kids I know will be playing in college. Exeter players as well. They're going to continue to play and have further careers. And I'm just going to really quick say thank you to the entire BC TV staff. It's been a wonderful season. We've had, we come up here, it's easy for us as broadcasters, but we don't have to work all those extra hours regardless of the weather and everything else. And Andrew Fenn, Bill Jennings, thank you. And of course, behind the scenes, I am going to say, Colleen, you do a great job too. Corey, all yours, buddy.
Again, Harry Kozlowski bringing us live on the radio today on WBNH 105.1. We appreciate him producing today. And of course, as you mentioned, all the BCTV crew, we thank you so much for your work and your effort, the setup, the takedown, and bringing us phenomenal action throughout all of these Bedford sports. So we'll wrap it up here. Again, the Bulldogs come in undefeated and they leave unfortunately defeated. The Exeter Bluehawks come in strong. Alan Barreto with 2 goals here this evening. That's the difference, and Exeter wins the Division I Boys State Championship here in 2024. So for Bill Klein, I'm Corey Munster Tiger. Everybody have a great night.